How have you been? Good. Your day has been good.
It's still morning here. It's 10:30, 10:40 actually. So far so good. Yeah.
Uh,
So far so good. I was looking at your work on Instagram. Beautiful stuff you have there. Yeah, I was just looking at the number of designers that you have worked with in India there. Um, yeah, so many
yeah,
people are adopting your technique. It's
yeah. It's a lot of people, a lot of students, designers. Once they become designers, it becomes very difficult for to them to accept that they're doing something that somebody else is already doing, and which is actually strange because if you look at the amount of people who already are obviously doing whatever everybody is doing has been done before. If you actually naturally look at it, you make a garment, it's through stitching, and stitching was done by somebody else. Somebody started it. Of course, now everybody is using it, or printing, or dyeing, or painting, or block printing, or converting into any other form of garment. Uh, Crafts, everything has been done. So this whole idea of wanting to do something new is what it takes people for a ride, because then they want to do different, but it's actually we're all doing the same thing at the end of the day. It's been done before. It's been done before. We just so designers have very difficulty in doing that, and when they open up and say, yeah, we're okay doing what everybody else is doing, but let's do it better the way, so it becomes easier. Well,
So you have
fantastic.
been
We
doing
have
you
more.
have been doing that for since you started. I saw your story how you started with some second-hand
Button Masala.
shirts. Yes.
Yeah. I've been doing this. No, but yeah, again, I've been doing it since my school days, college days, my childhood. I was doing that because I'm from a place called Rajasthan, and it's a dry state. So there I mean, there's not much resources. It's very dry. It's like a desert. So you share resources. You keep using resources as much as you can, as many ways as you can. So we
How
would
was it
always.
starting out like that anyway? Like without
It's
so
fine,
much.
I think. Yeah,
Mm.
but it's good. It's, each one is born in where they're supposed to be born, or wherever you born, you're born. Now, what can you do? You can't reborn, no? So you can't take a rebirth. So I guess everybody's born where they are, and you have to make the most of where you're born. So I enjoyed. It was hot. It used to be super hot, and less water. No green vegetables. But that's why my area is very good at pickling. So they make good pickles because they have to preserve something. So
How to preserve things,
every
yes.
yeah.
So can we
So
say that's where the inspiration came from for your work, where you don't waste anything and you are
yeah, yeah. It's not even inspiration. It's this lifestyle. This is
it's a
how I was.
lifestyle.
My mother used to hate me when I used to go pick up a second-hand shirt from a cart, because she would, and these second-hand shirts were obviously coming from different parts of the world, and it was 1980s. There was no wave of recycle, upcycle. But I used to love and pick up something very simple and at cheap price, because I knew that I couldn't spend too much money on my shopping or anything. It's not that I was told not to, but I was careful about it, because I felt that the resources you have is all belong to you. So if you spend it thinking that it is your mother's or your family's or the world's, so I've been careful about that. So even from the point of view of looking at, like, if I have to drive somewhere, how much can you save? Not just for me. I can afford petrol, I can afford a car, but I don't have a car, because it's not about me. It's about save for each other, not just to begin with yourself. So it's not like you only design clothes that are upcycled, recycled, or economic, or sustainable. It's about our own lives. Are we sustainable? Do we switch off lights before we go out? It doesn't matter. We don't even know if we use too much electricity, it'll kill the world. We don't even know that. But if you believe that we can save electricity for some place where it is not available so readily, even though you can afford to have 24 hours of a bulb switched on, it is up to us to say, no, it's not me whether I can afford it or not. Can all of us together afford it? And that's a larger process.
I think that's a very interesting way of looking at sustainability, really.
Okay.
So we have um, designers that we have selected out of a number of applications that came through. And we have, I think they can be able to introduce themselves for now, as we are introducing circularity and circular design systems, in a hope that they can adopt the systems and start using that. So I think everybody else maybe can take like 30 seconds to introduce themselves. And yeah, we can
Or
take it
more,
from.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I can see Mwene, you're there?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Hi, morning.
hi, good morning.
Mwene. I run a small fashion house called Mwene Fashion House. It's been running since 2015. We are specialized in doing plus size clothes.
Okay, very nice.
Okay, I can see Dorothy. Are you there, Dorothy?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you can
Hi, Dorothy.
Good morning. My name is Dorothy Grace Cantini. I also run a small
Is it
business.
possible that you could
called-
switch on your video just for the introductions,
Yeah.
and then you can
Okay.
switch it off later?
Oh, it'll be nice
Just-
if it is
All right.
everybody is just switched on, because we all are beautiful looking people and ugly.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's better.
Can you see me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
of
can
course.
see you.
Hi. So it's
Yeah.
it's nice to put
Can you
a
see
face
me?
to the. Now it's gone. It
Yeah,
came and left.
I'm Dorothy Grace Cantini. I run a small business as well called House Under Grace Designs, HAG Designs. Yeah, I specialized in a lot of things, but usually I love to have a touch of Chitenge to all my work because, yeah, I just love Chitenge. Nice. The print is nice. Yeah.
And that's nice. Thank you, Dorothy. Thank you, Betty, for inviting me, and thank you, Meena, because she introduced me to you guys and asked me to do this, and then I spoke to Betty about this, and I'm very happy that I'm with you guys today, because I think I'm in love with Africa in general, and not been to Zambia before, but I've been to Kenya, Uganda, and South Africa, and I've taught button masala to a lot of people there. Uh, One of the projects, last project was I was working with a company called Darling, which I think most of you would know. And I live in Ahmedabad in India, which is where I went to study. And I am currently in another city called Goa. I'd come for holidays for last 2 months. So in the middle of COVID, I'm holidaying and partying on the beach. Basically, that's what I'm doing, and that's why this whole tan and a very unkempt look. But so I run this small studio called Button Masala from Ahmedabad, where I have one person who works for me, two of us, and I travel and teach the technique that I've developed. I don't know how many of you actually saw the saw the work, but you will see a bit of it now, so you will know what I do and why I am part of this discussion on uh, sustainable and circular fashion, or whatever we call that. So that's why me and Betty just started when we came. We just started talking without even introduction. So I'm very happy, and I'll tell you more about myself once we start speaking formally as a presentation. Yeah, Betty. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming and talking to me, and me talking to you guys.
Thank you for coming, and I really would like to say thank you for you coming on, because I know you are busy, and you know, but for your coming to teach this, it means a lot to us. And I hope that the designers also will find your teaching to be as valuable as it is, and hopefully adopt the zero waste production that you are going to teach. So I think as we are waiting for other people to join in, really, I think you can take it up, and yeah,
Okay.
you can.
But so all the people here are designers, and they have their own studios or work, and yeah, okay, that's awesome. I'm sure I will connect to all of you. Otherwise, on Instagram and other places, you can always on Instagram there's Button Masala. So I will explain you the the name of Button Masala to begin with. How did so button means button, we all know. Masala means spices. So in India we use masala everywhere with spices of all kind. India was a spice country, so the word is very popular, and there are many curries, mutton masala, chicken masala. There are many curries made in India with that name. So when I did something with buttons, I was thinking of names, and that's how Button Masala. And so it was basically a collection which became a brand around 2010. And for last 10 years, I've been practicing that technique and trying to teach people how to use the technique so that it can spread and reach people and make their lives better, because Button Masala has made my life definitely very, very fantastic. It makes me travel all across the world. I teach and meet a lot of people, uh, and it's joyful as a technique. It's a very joyful technique, and I love it, and I would love to spread more. So that's about Button Masala at this beginning of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a small presentation of what Button Masala is, how it started, and where. And after that, I will, or parallelly, I will teach you guys how I work and what it works. You can always make along with when I'm making, or later, or anytime. It's not a very difficult system. It's not a very difficult system. Yeah. I'm going to share screen. I hope I have the. Becky, you have to allow me to share the screen. Illustration of me cooking. So when you think of Button Masala, in India, it's cooking. So there are lots of buttons, and I'm cooking with buttons. So I was out on the street, and I saw this man who had buttoned his shirt wrong, and I was and because of the one button being put wrong, he had a little loop that happens, because if you put the wrong button in the wrong buttonhole, it makes a loop, and it looked like a mistake. So I thought, if there are many buttons and many buttonholes, what will happen? Yeah. So I put the buttons on a piece of fabric here, on this piece of fabric, and here you can see in the illustration there are buttonholes at equal distance. Every 2 inches there was a buttonhole, and that's what Button Masala was as a collection. So I put the buttons on a piece of fabric, and I hung it on a body dress form, and all of these could. So this one garment which I hung in the first place could lift up itself, because so from this buttonhole it moved to this buttonhole, to this buttonhole, to this, and it keeps shifting the garment. And if you use it horizontally, the belts, then it'll reduce the width. It can increase and reduce the length and the width of a fabric, and it can bind itself to become a garment. So once I understood this, I did a trial again, like a more serious trial of equal size buttons, and I did more. So I did make these small, tiny straps with one buttonhole, which you can see here in the center, right here in the middle. Yeah. And using that, I hung this one garment, and then I started changing it using those little tiny joinery systems. So in the same position, it could become all of this and more, millions. Okay. So this one piece of fabric can make about 500,000 garments. And each one of them is different if you look at it. Yeah, and it's on the same place. Of course, you can take the fabric around. So it looks pretty much like this. I'm going to show you on the screen. If you can look at the screen for a while, these tiny screen. So these are the buttons stitched on a piece of fabric, and this is a strap with the buttonholes on it. So you have buttonhole here, and you have button. So if I want to connect this to this one, I have a buttonhole which holds this together, or I can connect this to this, and you can see how it connects. Yeah. So you can keep changing the garment anytime you want, because you have a strap. You have this strap which is pretty long in this case, and you can keep changing whatever you want, and you can attach button to buttonholes. So I did the show. I used to do shows, and this is the show I did. And when I was doing the show, I asked all these models if they would like to change the garment. They don't have to wear the garment that I made. But they said no. They were very scared that they didn't want to change, because they thought it'll not be. They won't be able to make good garments. I told them, please don't worry, please try. But they were very scared, and they kept on changing it. They refused to change. All the models said, no, we're not going to change. Whatever you made is fine. If you want to change, you change. And that's when I realized that suddenly struck to me, it's not the design that is that needs to keep changing. It's the mindset of the people that has to change. Yeah, if you make something very interesting, which is so good, uh, uh, so then it doesn't work, no? Because you've done something that can change so many ways, but nobody's interested in changing from one to another. Nobody wants to shift from one to two. How will it be used for 1 million different possible ways? Because nobody is wanting to do it. So I realized that it's the people that needs to change. The mindsets of the people have to change, not the design. Design will change. It'll happen. But if we consciously change the design without changing the mindset of the people, then it's a problem. So I did this show. I will show you the pictures of the show. So it's all of these are one pieces of fabric, two pieces of fabric, all rectangular, no cutting, and buttons all over in the same grid and same kinds of belts. And it can become this, or it can become this, or it can become this. It keeps changing. Betty, I guess you'll have to mute yourself because there's some sound.
I'm here.
Yeah. Some sound constantly. Yeah, thank you. No, not yet. Still coming. Okay. Yeah. It's anybody. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It was Meena. Huh? Okay. So I made all these garments, and when you can see the garments. Do you guys like what I did? Or you think? I hope
it's
there
amazing,
are these.
to be honest. It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, so it was very simple, and the reason for doing this is not for the world. It's not for the sustainability of the world. I was doing it because it made me easier. I just had to put these buttons on the piece of fabric, and then I could just do it. And that was the idea. I wasn't trying to change the world or make life better for other people. I was just trying to make my own life better. So I don't have to spend too much. I don't have to do one piece of fabric, and you can so I can make 500,000 possible different products and garments. So I did this because sustainability starts at home. What can you do to make your life easier and happier? So when people talk about sustainability or design, it's not about others. It's never about others. People do say, "Oh, I'm trying to make something to please somebody else," and this garment looks so beautiful on you. Nobody looks beautiful. We all know that. No garment can make you look beautiful. It's a myth. I mean, people do talk about garments making you look beautiful, but still people who really love you or who want to have something. And so everybody who comes to you and say that you're looking beautiful in this dress or you're looking so beautiful has a reason of their own to come and tell you. There is a saying which says beauty lies in the eye of beholder. It's true. It's very true that people are beautiful for people who love them. And your mother, for you, will always be beautiful for your mother. And I'll always be good looking for my family. And if I do something wrong, they'll hate me and say, "You ugly looking boy." But the point is, as long as beauty doesn't exist in you, it exists in somebody else's eye. So no garment really makes you look beautiful. It's the way other person is looking at it. If I like the garment and I don't like the person, am I going to go up to the person and compliment the person? No, I'm not. So that's how it goes. Anyway, so I did this, and then I I made this trousers at the back of the stage in 5 minutes, and I walked out. It was a good collection. I won all the awards that year, but something changed in me. I stopped doing fashion weeks after that. And I was invited for this shoot where I had to make a garment, make garments out of same two pieces of fabric. So I had two pieces of silk fabric with buttons on them, and I had two straps, and I made about 18 garments in 1 hour. And each of these garments are ready to go out and jump around and dance, whatever you want to do. But this is what I did. Then I said, okay, I can work for the craft sector. So I started looking at applications of Button Masala. If I'm not doing fashion weeks, I wanted to do something more. So I started looking at them like this. And so this bag can be made by a craftsman in a village in India and can also be used as a fabric later as a skirt part. So the same fabric becomes this part of this dress and becomes skirt and add length to it. So I took a piece of wax resist fabric, and we call it batik here in some places. And I made a bag out of this fabric, and then I made another bag, and then I made it into.
Is that hand painting?
Yeah, that's a wax resist. Yeah. Wax. They put wax. They paint with wax and then color it, dye it differently. So these are dyed at stages
So
and
what type
painted.
of dyes are they using? Are they using natural dyes?
Both kinds, both types are used, depending on the situation of the person who's working. These are not 100% natural. It doesn't look like natural to me, but they do. These are hand painted for sure. So this is one piece of fabric that changes. And while I was shooting these garments, then if you look at the last picture here at the bottom, there is a rubber band. I suddenly had a rubber band in my hand and I was shooting and I said, nobody's watching the back of the garment. Let me just fix the thing instead of buttonholes, connect them with the rubber band. And it worked. And I said, oh, I can do it with rubber band. So I instantly changed the idea and I tried attaching the buttons with the buttonholes like that. And then slowly I realized that I can have a piece of fabric. And so instead of attaching the buttons and then attaching the rubber band like that, I can now suddenly have a button, like this is not a button, but it does look like a button. And you can put it here and you can attach the button with this rubber band. So I don't have to stitch. Yeah. So can you see it? I'm just going to bring it close on this little screen. You guys can pin me for a second and see. So but just taking a button, I'm going to show it once more. And so if I will show it again later, but now for now, so then when I was doing this, that I saw a button, I put a button with there's another button that I have here. Yeah. So now if I have to connect this and this, then all I have to do is to just take one of the rubber bands here, one of the strands, and connect this with this. Yeah. So it's connected. Yeah. I can connect whichever way I want. So this is connected and I can connect one more way. So many ways, I'm just going to show it later, but this to show the other part of the thing, I have to make it. So I started doing these garments without, so now I have to not stitch the buttons. I don't have to have the buttonholes to be made. And I just have to buy rubber bands and some buttons and I can start inserting them in the fabric and start making these. So it became this and then this could become this. We started experimenting. So there is no design process. It's like I am today here and what can I do now? Oh, I have this fabric, I can try this. So I don't invest too much time, money and fear into future of design. I just keep doing what I have to do. And it keeps telling me what to do. So you don't have to figure out everything about life. The life will tell you what you have to do. As long as you're listening to the life every day, every minute, instead of being fearful of what is possible. Will I sell? Will I not sell? As long as you stay cheap and you keep making things happily and easily without troubling anybody, without troubling yourself, you're smarter, you're happier, healthier, you will get good ideas. It'll keep coming to you. You don't have to even think about thinking of good things in life. It keep happening to you. So of course, so then I got knit fabric and I had some checks fabric and I was putting smaller buttons and I started putting bigger buttons and I had lots of buttons and a lot more buttons and, you know, pieces of cottons and this is a woven fabric in India. Then I thought of menswear. Started looking at menswear. I started looking at shawls, like how in winters can you attach two fabrics like that and like make whatever you want instantly. Like I can make this and I can bring this here and I can bring. So this is what we started doing. Kids wear, yeah. Just doing. It's not like I focus too much on selling. Then somebody asked me to do like some sculptural work. So I said, oh, we can change the size of the buttons because we're not stitching the buttons. No? We're tying the material. So we got into like attaching, plastic balls into the fabric instead of button, cups and balloons. And we started doing sculptural work. More sculptural work. Now you can create spaces on top of your head, body, wherever. You can just like take something big and just put it here and put a rubber band and it's done. It was easy for us. We started making toys, we started making sculptures, we started doing beautiful these so this is some of the final products that I did, and then I started making sculptures out of them. Started doing more sculptural work. We started inserting metal, we started inserting more metal. So you can go to a picnic with all your boxes inside the fabric and you can wear it also and you can take it out also and take your bread out and sandwiches and whatever. You can carry anything inside the fabric now. You can insert structures. more metal. So we work with industry, police, where we teach them how to use it. We could carry your spoons and forks, and you can float with something like that. So you can make this. You can insert foam. So this is one piece of fabric that keeps converting. You can attach metal. You can attach more metal. You can do mirror work. This is a very famous mirror work in Gujarat, but we can do mirror work. We used to take waste material and whatever little extra that we have, because we don't have any waste, we just cut square pieces. So whatever you've seen before has no cutting, no stitching, no machine, one size fits all, no sizes, no complaints, cheapest to use, fastest to use. So as a system, it's very fast. So, these are curtains becomes the dress. These are handkerchiefs. These are, one piece of fabric that can be worn many, many ways. Examples of that. These are two pieces of cushion cover that keeps changing. And this is 30 seconds you can change from one to another. So can you imagine the amount of waste that we create by trying to wear so many different things, but your fabric is capable of changing from one form to another. Yeah. I think we can take a break now and we come back and start from here. Yeah. So yeah, after this, I will, after I've finished with the presenter, I'll show you how things are done properly, and we can take some questions. And okay. So as I said, saying these are two pieces of fabric with buttons on them, lots of buttons. You can see two different grids, yeah. But these are two different cushion covers, which keeps going around the body, yeah? And keeps changing. But this is like 3 minutes of work, 4 minutes of work, and if you shoot in between, 10 minutes. But every 30 seconds, you can open something and convert into another form, and you don't even have to think how to design this, because when you talk about the beauty of clothes that we can afford to wear in Africa and India, in all the hot countries, is the free or drapes, the headgears, the fabric, how we all know how to use, because it was hot and we had to wear clothes, what you call open, so that the wind can flow through the body, and that's where the whole system comes from. But instead of that, we started wearing these tight-fitted clothes, which are very close to the body. And once you have a garment like this, there's nothing you can do. You can only print the textiles, or you can do something on the textile. But this is it. I can't do anything. There's no fabric on my body to do anything. I can maybe just make one more dart here. See how that's it. But if I had more fabric, I can do a lot. If I had this, then I could do this. I could do this, I could do anywhere. I can just go anywhere in the whole body. I can wrap myself different ways, million ways. So we used to wear, all the hot countries used to wear these loose clothes. But because of the education that we got, the design education, which came from the European and the American style education, nothing wrong with that. They make beautiful garments as well. But it is the cold country education. They have to make things which are fitted to the body, cut close to the body, so that they can wear layers. And to make the layers to be happen, they had to cut the fabric and then stitch it back. So stitching came to the cold countries first. It would have never come to any hot country. Doesn't matter. The guy invented stitching, was born in India. He wouldn't still be able to do it, because he wouldn't think in that direction. Because in India, we didn't need anything. There were no blouses in India some 100 years back. All the women used to have the fabric that would go around the body, and it was pretty much similar to Africa and many places across so all the hot countries would have fabric like that. Now, instead of that, we wear tight clothes, and we're only using textile as a garment making, but the garments are the same dresses, same t-shirts, same shirts. Guys has even lesser possibilities now, because we stopped wearing, in India, we used to wear dhotis, like, bottom garments which were draped around, and then you have extra fabric that would cover the top, and you could clean up with it, or you can wipe your head with it, and it'll be like, and Africa has all of that as well. So yeah, so when you have a fabric which can be attached like this, you can just convert it into whatever you want. Like 4 of these you can see. These are some wearable garments that we sell, but it's all fabric. So you can open each piece of this and separate them and connect to another piece, or So also already you have seen a lot of garments which have been recycled in this presentation. They don't look the same, but they are the same garments. So you wouldn't even realize. This garment can be easily this. This is actually same garment which is converted into this. Yeah. So you can keep changing fabrics, garments, materials, open, connect, and nothing is lost. So it's very, very sustainable system. These are two towels. These are different fabrics. This is a hand woven fabric from India. Uh, you could just build some examples. And I don't have photographers and shoot. I just make somebody wear it, make them stand straight and shoot. So I'm very, very simple in that process because shooting costs everything costs. Just takes a lot of time away. So you can see like this is 4 pieces of fabric, one in the front, one at the back. There's one at the shoulder and another one at the other shoulder. So you can just so from here to here is one fabric, from here to here is one fabric. This is the third fabric. But 4 rectangular pieces fabric. You can open these 4 pieces and shift them around anywhere in the body, or you can remove all the buttons. So I can remove 2 lines from here and it'll be a longer dress. I can add 2 lines, it'll be 2 inches shorter, 1 inch shorter, ½ inch short, whatever you want is possible. Some examples I'll just rush through. You can always see all of this on Instagram on Button Masala. I'll be happy if you follow us and share the knowledge about this to the rest of people in your country. You guys can also join the workshops that I take. So you can always use the technique. It's open for people to use a little bit to begin with. And you can learn and you can make your life easier by using the system. So these are all stitch-free garment without a single stitch. And all of this thing can be brought back to the original condition of a fabric, buttons and rubber bands. You can get it all back and reuse them somewhere. So nothing is ever lost and nothing is. These are block printed fabrics. These are saris, like Indian attires, swimsuits. This is where there is a little bit of cutting. We do trindles and we work for the industry, like movie industry, wearable electronics, jewelry, headgears. This is a laptop bag. This is our bag, which is we make garments and sell them in these. It's a banyan. We call it banyan. You probably call it something else. Briefs. These are bags, all kinds of bags. So I didn't think that all of this I'll do with this technique, but this technique is so simple that it allows me to do. And so when you design something, are you actually thinking a lot about it, or you just go ahead and start doing it? And if it's not expensive, then you don't mind starting it. So we started doing shoes. And it's not that I planned it. This will happen slowly. I'm still very slow about how to go about it, but in 10 years, I've taught about 50,000 people. So my idea is to spread the technique and teach people so that everybody can use it. So,
50,000 people is a lot, Anuj. How have you been teaching? Online?
No, travel. I used to travel a lot before COVID.
Okay.
After COVID, I've become online. But before that, everything was travel. So I've traveled a lot.
That's a lot of impact. That's huge, actually.
And those 50,000 people have taught another 5-10 people each slowly over their life and talking. So it's a huge number of people, but I have plans of probably like 60 years of expansion. So it'll take me about another 20 years to teach more and more people so that it becomes so big. And of course, I will need all of you to help me out in spreading the word and you yourself learning and trying it out. Because it is, trust me guys, definitely cheaper, smarter, happier, joyful, giving, forgiving, and anything that you can use as a word, as a positive word. It is that it's meditative to do it. It's so easy that you don't have to spend, and you could have, like, my tailor would have done on 3 garments by now if you were, but we still produce 1 garment a day, less than that. Maybe we don't produce at all. But I'm the fastest garment making person, but I'm still not making it, not because I can afford to make it or not make it, but I don't really need to make garments. I'm happier teaching, and it's not the money that matters. What matters is what you do with the money.
The impact,
And if you're enjoying with work, if you have, like, time is the money. So if you have time and you're free and you're enjoying your life and you're happy, it doesn't matter what others are doing, but if you're happy within yourself and you don't care, then you're already rich because you have time. Because all the rich people do is they spend all that money to buy back time.
Mm.
We all have to spend money again and we earn through spending time. And we can never earn back that much time back by spending all the money that we earned by. So if I spend 8 hours a day trying to earn, I will not be able to make the same amount of money back by spending all the money. I will never get the same amount of time back by spending all the money. So that's like a very serious bad proposition. So I started like I just keep doing what so curtains
Yeah, I see also you
with
have
lights.
done some kind of jewelry there. We have two jewelers here. Edna, are you there?
Yeah, jewelry. So if you put a hashtag Button Masala jewelry, you'll see jewelry. If you put hashtag Button Masala curtains, you'll see curtains. So all those hashtags are there with Button Masala. You can always look. And lots of people are doing what. And so there's something called hashtag Button Masala interns. And then if you look at that hashtag, there are about 2,000 images of what people have done in last 2 months, 3 months.
Wow, that's a lot.
These are lamps, furniture, more furniture.
Wow. Okay.
This is what these are all t-shirts, and I teach. So these are all kids who have learned from me, and these are kids in the slums of India somewhere where they made raincoats, and these are all different kinds of raincoat made by them. And these done by 10 minutes. These are kids in South Africa, in Johannesburg. And these are all 10 minutes, 15 minutes of work.
Yeah, we have you met Jackie? Last week we were talking to Jackie from South Africa. She's running she's doing the movement with the Twig magazine where she's doing that. I think it would be nice also to introduce you to her so that
that'll be nice.
We can spread the network.
Yeah.
I just wanted Edna to say something about because you're doing jewelry, Edna, and from what you have seen so far, is it something that you can incorporate in as you're doing your jewelry?
Okay, I think it's a very beautiful concept of how one can express themselves so freely just by, like combining things with very minimal effort. I think with the process of creativity, sometimes, especially if you're trying to make a simple garment, sometimes the construction process is so tedious that you end up getting frustrated. But incorporating such a technique, I feel like it's more easygoing and more freeing and more liberating, and allows you to enjoy the creation process itself. I'm so amazed at how the garment looks so complex, but the process of creation is so liberating and freeing, and it's not tedious on the mind or anything. So I really do look forward to learning more of how I can do this, especially when it comes to jewelry and the Afrocentric type of jewelry.
Awesome. That'll be very nice. You can learn a little more later, but you can look at the work, and it's very simple. So I will explain you how to do it, and then of course all of you can get in touch with me whenever you want, or I'll be very happy to help you out to spread the technique and earn if you want to earn from it. And if I can ever come to Zambia and teach you guys physically, I'll be very happy. So this is refugee kids in Sweden. Those are students, and so for example, this is 2 pieces of fabric with 2 corners of the fabric has attached square buttons. So it would take about typically 20 minutes to put something like this in one corner. 20. This is the first time they're making. Yeah, and since it's checks, it's very easy to point where to keep that buttons and attach it. And you have to do the same process, so it's meditative. And once that is done, this is converted into this one simple garment, but you can keep changing. Every time you open the fabric, so this fabric comes here, and if you remove this and open it and shift it somewhere else, it changes. So these are craftsmen in India who making their own block prints, and then they also attached making the garment. These are their kids who were there around, and they also learned. These are 2 old women in villages who made their first garment. The girl is wearing in the center is the garment made by them in 2 hours, first 2 hours. So imagine the kind of education we got, 4 years of learning something and then we making something. Here it is education of 4 hours, and you're ready to do it. And they make it better because they don't already have an idea of what to make. So they just keep doing very simple stuff. So we have a problem, designers have a problem, and the problem is ego. We have an ego that this is my creation. The day you let that ego go, you will become sustainable for sure. If you want to become sustainable, and you will become a better designer or a better person, the day you say, oh, everything has been done, let me just do whatever everybody is doing, but nicely. Let me try doing it better. That's it. The moment you start looking at it that way, you suddenly realize, oh, awesome. Because everything has been done before. Somebody must have put the rubber band before. Somebody put buttons together like that. But nobody did it so long. Because if I was worried that if somebody's done it before, oh, it's so simple. No, it's simple. That's why it's so beautiful. And why do I have to work a lot? Like a lot of people want to create complex designs because it gives them high. No, there is no need. It's okay to make something very simple, very easy. These are kids in villages that I teach. This is a half an hour workshop. This is 2 hours workshop with tribals in the middle of India somewhere in a place called Jharkhand. This is in Adidas headquarters in Germany. So I get invited to do these workshops with so this is headquarters of Adidas, and I've done some. So these are accountant, a girl who handled my coming and going. She also did the workshop. This is a artist who, this is a pattern maker in Adidas. This is a Japanese kid who made something. This is an artist in Holland. She made all of these things. And then these are students from other colleges in fashion in India. They're doing all of this stuff. I'm working with some product with the hair, with Darling in Africa. So I can't really tell much about it because it's still a project that's a little secret and you guys understand. But I'm trying to attach hair to the fabric. And this is Button Masala headgears. So where the hair doesn't have to be attached to the thing. So it's a very, very beautiful product, and I'll bring it to Africa someday, and I'll be happy to introduce this product. It'll come through Darling someday for sure, and it's fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how this works, and I'll probably show you one garment or something. So you saw how it's done. You guys can pin the screen if you can. Let's say this is a piece of fabric. You can make a garment by draping. So this. So there is a button here. Yeah, I've already put. So how you do is that you take a button, leave some space from the back, take a rubber band. We use these dental rubber bands. Yeah, I don't know if you get it there, but I'm sure you get it everywhere. You can use another rubber band. You can also use thread. You can use coins. You can use these little sequins that we get in India. You can use beans. You can use stones, paper, fabric, whatever you want to put inside, so that it doesn't tear the fabric. And once you've done that, you hold it like this nicely, and you put this rubber band around it and just rotate it. Don't pull the rubber band too much. Just rotate it around, and that's connected. Now the same one of these strands I'll take and I'll connect this to this. Yeah, so it's connected. Now, see, it's connected. Now if I don't want to connect it like this, and I want to connect it differently, I want to connect maybe here, then I can also do like this. I can name this fabric, put the other fabric on top of the other button, and I connect it. So I'm not use this, but I use that. Now I can attach this here by putting another button here, and I can connect this. So when I open this up, it's opened up. Yeah. Yeah. Now I can take this here, and let's say if I want to connect this here, yeah, I want to connect this here, then I can do this. So I already have a jacket now. It's not going to fly off. Now if I want to put this here, then I can take this and put this inside like that. Yeah. And I can put a rubber band here, or I can just take this. Turn the button wherever I want. So if I want to put something here, if I want to take this. Now the art of doing it is that you hold the fabric very nicely and just turn it nicely, and it will always be looking well. But if you don't hold it well, so the art of draping lies in the way you hold it, nothing else. If you hold it with respect, it'll give you respect by looking good. Yeah. So this is how it is. So I've connected that. If this is falling off, I can connect this here. I can put one button here and put a thing together. So this is how you keep changing the garment. Yeah. And I can always disconnect it like this and remove it like from here, and that's done. Okay. Now I'm going to show you one or two garments to understand. So this is a flower. For example, this is also button masala, a system of button masala where you can do things like that. So I'm just going to remove the flower from the fabric. There's this flower. The flower is made by taking 4 pieces of square rectangular pieces of fabric. Sometimes it's so tight that I have to keep. So there's the rubber bands don't come out. You can wash them in the machine if you want to understand that part of it. This is one button. These are 2 pieces of fabric. I put them around like that. I hold it like that. I do that. And it's done. Yeah. And then I can attach this anywhere I want. It can go on this fabric. It can go here. It can go here. I just have to take another rubber band and attach it wherever I want. So that's one part. That's the flowers. I have this piece of fabric. I can explain you a bit more. So there is this. This is just one piece of fabric. This is so if you go to Button Masala Instagram, you'll see how I've made many garments out of this one piece of fabric and what was it before and what it became. So I can just, this is a grid. And now if I have the same fabric like this, then I can attach button to button, button to button. Like here, I can put this here. And I can just, now you can see that I can attach this button to this button. Yeah. And I can start from wherever I want and keep connecting them one after another. It's connected. So like this, I can keep connected, or I can go here and I can connect this. Yeah. So it's not necessary to do so many buttons, but we do varieties. So I can just take it wherever I want. All these places I can attach. Yeah. If I remove this, then it'll open up and become a longer fabric. Yeah. And then I can take this and I can connect it here. Betty, if you can take a screenshot, that'll be nice also, so that you can post it later if you want. Yeah, so this is connected. Now I can bring this here and connect it here. Yeah, so every time it becomes a different garment. So now I have a sleeve. Now sleeve can be attached here. So I'll have a tight fitted, yeah, it's done. So I don't take any time to make a garment. That's why I work so little. I hope you guys understood what I'm showing you. Is it visible, Betty?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, and I can just change the size, form, color, wherever I want to. I can add more color to it. I can add more, I can add flower. I can add flower. So yeah, that's about design of Button Masala. This is how it works. And it's very simple. You can look at Button Masala videos and you can always learn from there. You can ask me any question now. It's as simple as I showed you. And if you make a grid, then it's better. You can take a piece of fabric and you can do the marking of buttons. You try putting buttons and every time you put a button, it always makes this little line. So you know where that's straight. So if I put another button here, then I can divide it into half and I put one in the center, then I divide it into half and put one in the center. And then, I keep doing that and I get like a grid of line. Yeah, you can otherwise do the marking on the fabric. You can fold the fabric and make a line and then put a button there. So up to you how you put you can use anything that you have as a thing. And if you don't have rubber band, you can try anything and try it out. So I would suggest that you guys try it out and then share the images with Betty, or you can ask me on Button Masala Instagram, message me, I will reply back.
I think what we can do is I'm sure the designers would try out something, and since they have to sort of like come up with a piece, we can still discuss around how or what they can use, and then we'll be able to to share that on the page, on the Facebook page, and also on the YouTube page. But also, I think it would be nice, designers, to share your Twitter handles or your Facebook. All right. Yeah, I think I'll be able to share with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Professor, we have Professor Kanyati from Rockville University. Yeah, I would like to introduce him now, and maybe he
Yeah.
has one or two words to say. Professor?
Thank you very much. Are you able to get me?
Yes.
Yeah. We can hear.
Thank you very much, Madam Betty. Thank you very much, sir, for the nice presentation. We have learned the new things that we didn't know. It's very much inspiring to get such in workshop, so that we understand much better. And also we can also at the same time, in this side of the world in Africa, we can maybe implement so that we maintain the sustainability part of fashion. I have a question, maybe you can clarify something on the aspect of how to take care the comfortability of the material, the comfortability of the article that you make on that aspect. Maybe you can say something on the comfortability.
Yeah, so the fabrics are the same. Thank you, Professor. The fabrics are like the way the world has already. All the buttons are on the outside, so I can do anything. It doesn't do anything. It's just texture. Even if it's a lot on the body, it only does acupressure. It doesn't hurt ever. And we mostly don't use so much every time. We use it very carefully. So if I have to do this underarm, I will leave some space for the hands to move and not get scratched or anything. So in kids wear, we use only like 4 or 5 buttons, that too softer one. So you can use softer buttons wherever you need. So you can use foam, you can use some fabric, or you can use very small button. So it doesn't trouble you there. There are always spaces in the body where you can hide things or have buttons or not troubling you. So you just have to understand that, and it's already very clear on the body where it hurts. So it doesn't ever have. So I have never had a single complaint from any of my client about in so many years about problems with the thing, because it can have some problem. Maybe some rubber band someday breaks, but then you have so many rubber bands available and you can change it. So nobody complains because it's easy to repair. The moment you have a system that is so easy to do, you become more loving. You don't care about selling. If somebody sends me a garment, say there's a mistake here and I can't do anything, please change it. So I would change the garment, or I would completely give a new garment, because it is so simple for me that it's not that I'm doing something extra to help people have a better understanding of it, or a service, or a replacement of the garment. So it is a good clean system, and it is very comfortable on the body. And in fact, better, because if I'm feeling tight here, I can open one button here and it'll become bigger. If it is tight, I need 2 inches here, only this area, I open this much. If I want all through, I can open one line. I can add half an inch button instead of one. Yeah, so I can just change any size. One fabric can be worn by everybody in Africa. I know.
Very amazing. Interesting indeed.
Normally, do you do your
No, I do also. I do send it to the shops also once in a while. But focus is teaching and not so much on selling. So I'm pretty slow there.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What type of fabric? I don't know if you already said this and I missed it. What type of fabric is best for that type of garment construction? Is it like stretch, or any type can work?
Any type works, but the rest, I like the stretch a lot more, because then it is very fluid. It hides the buttons that I like it. The buttons pulls the fabric in a great way. But cotton looks very beautiful. Polyester, every fabric, any plastic also works. Anything. We're doing lamps with paper for Japanese people. So we've done tents. We've done tents that become garments. We've done rainwares. We've done sculptures. We've done spaces. all kinds. The bigger the material, thicker the button. If you're using denim, you can use it on denim, but you'll have to use like tighten the rubber band much harder, and you'll have to use like a thick as a coin button.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, I think
Any
that's
other
I've taken.
questions? Anybody?
We have time for about 2 minutes for a question. So
Yeah. Joyce, you
so
have
if
a
you can
question?
find,
Maybe I can ask something. Just before
Yeah.
we
Okay, go
continue.
ahead.
I would like to find out like which platform did you find easy to more like advertise this product, because this is not a product that was already on the market. I'm sure by the time you're starting to something new, and I'm sure people had to fall in love with it after they saw it. But I would like to know which platforms and what methods you use to like get it out there so that people can know about this product. So
I used I taught a lot more. I was using social media a little bit, but I spent a lot of time teaching physically. So it doesn't show up in the social media as much. Like I have like 25,000 followers, but I've taught 50,000 people. But I know there are these 25,000 people are not all the ones who've learned from me. So, but it's very organic people that follow me. And so that all 25,000 out of 25, at least 18,000 people can actually make a garment out of those. And the other 50,000 I've taught is also the people who can make. So it depends on how big you want to make something. Like if you want to just sell and make big money, then media is fine. Just go online and take good pictures and pitch make one picture every day out in the market, and put sales and put like ads and campaigns. But if you're looking for a lifetime of people to see your work at that level, then you have to go slow and steady and teach people. So teaching people is one of the first important tasks that I took on. I said, no, if it has to spread all across the world, then all across the world people have to know before they buy a product. Otherwise, how will they change it? Because there's no intention to change, and there's no garment that changes that much. So everybody's
I think
scared of
when you
changing.
had your hand up, maybe you can quickly ask your question.
So on an average, how many yards do you use per garment?
How many ads?
Yeah. Yes.
No, none. I don't add.
Yards,
I don't.
material. I think you mean yards when yards.
Yeah. 2 meters. 2 meters, like for a dress, 2 meters or 2.5 meters.
So my question is, on the first garments that he showed us, he had like a strap with buttonholes and a garment that had like buttons on it. So let's say if you want to make a garment that has like that picks more from that side with that whole strap and the hose. My question is how can I put it? I don't know if was he using a machine, because what I know is for you to make you have to use a machine, but he doesn't use.
Yeah. So the first collection was where the buttons were there, and there was a machine, and the machine which made buttonholes. You can also make the buttonholes and buttons without the machine. You can just use the needle and do it. You can also cut it and then put a thread around the buttonholes with the needle. So there are hand systems also. But that's what how I started, and then eventually it went on to become that. But that was just limited, because once you put the buttons, then you don't have to do anything after that. Yeah, that was it.
Hello, Betty. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to know what kind of buttons do you supposed to use? Is it any buttons?
Anything else. So this is a plastic sequence which you can use a phone. You can use these plastic things. You can fold it, put it inside. You can use candy. You can use a box. I can put this inside the fabric. I mean, you can put anything inside the fabric as long as it doesn't tear the fabric. That's the key.
All right.
Anything sharp, anything that holds the fabric has a little thing at the back so that it can works.
yeah, I think this is it. The only thing that we can do now is to follow each other, create the networks, and keep on
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, collaborate here and there. But thank you so much for your time, Anuj. I know you're busy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No,
So
all right.
I hope the designers have gotten one or two things from your technique, and I hope they are
I
going
hope
to
so.
incorporate.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
But
you,
as
thank
for
you,
now, I
everyone.
think thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anuj. I'm
Thank
going
you, everyone.
to end